Okay. I'm gonna cut right to it. Do you have any personal experience
I
with extraterrestrial? Like, have you seen anything? Have you been abducted? If that's even a thing, I don't know. Some say yes, some say no.
Yes and no. Basically no, and more so now no as well because we've actually become a liberated galaxy. I can get into that information as well. But yes, I have. I have had different sightings that kind of happened more so whenever I became more awakened to this paradigm shift reality of the phenomenon that we're kind of going through, but not really beforehand.
Oh,
Not really beforehand. Not as a child
where and
or
when
nothing
did
like that.
these experiences happen?
Yeah, so basically, kind of jumping a little bit, but these experiences happened, a lot of them whenever we are doing our cosmic consciousness meditation group. So actually founded a cosmic consciousness meditation group, which is called CE5 meditation, basically taking you in a guided meditation out into the cosmos, into the stars, and basically having you what they call remote view whenever you're out in this pure state of awareness and consciousness within the cosmos.
What does it look like? Are you like laying in the field looking up at the sky, or like
We're actually more so in like a circle. So
okay,
we like form a circle
eyes
and
closed?
eyes closed usually. You can also do it with your eyes open as well. And sometimes that's useful to do. But basically, you get into a state of awareness where you open up your heart and you open up your mind to this understanding that there are individuals from different places in vehicles, and you intend to see, and you expect to see these individuals, these other people.
Some may argue, since you are like trying to see something,
Hmm.
maybe perhaps your
Hmm.
mind is making something into like Felicia had an experience in California where she saw something in the sky that
Ooh,
was
nice.
just
I would love to hear about
it
that.
was gnarly as all hell.
Yeah.
And I was on the phone with her. She's like, I gotta call you back. And she took a little video of it, and she was convinced that she saw something. And but she had no predisposition going into it. It was out of nowhere. And then
Right.
the day after, they like made an announcement saying like, oh, SpaceX is, doing stuff with satellites and stuff. And she comes back at me with like, why didn't they say anything about that beforehand? If that's what it was, why didn't they announce it?
So
So
it was Starlink.
it was I think it was some sort of satellites that they
Was it
were.
where were they all in a line and they were kind of traveling across the? It's like one thing
Okay.
to another thing, and then it like flew up to another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it stopped. It went away right after that.
It was gone.
And it happened over the course of like about like 20 seconds. Yeah.
Usually whenever something dematerializes, it's going to be more or less an authentic sighting, and it's going to be more or less technology that defines known physics. So you might have seen something
Wait,
actually,
so
and
you
they might have just like glossed it over with Starlink, essentially.
so what did you see in this cosmic meditation? Did you see like is it like in the movies,
Hmm.
or was it not?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of experiences. There are even experiences where these individuals will actually be within the circle.
Stop.
They can actually touch you and stuff like that.
What you
And a
said.
lot of other like telepathic experiences as well, which are more so personal testimony. So that those are not as provable on their own side
Wait.
of existing, which we so love in the dualistic nature of our reality understanding.
Okay, my ignorant ass has to ask, just for the sake of other people wondering, what do you say mention these individuals possibly even being within your circle?
Hmm.
Uh, what do they look like to you? How did they appear?
Yeah, they can appear in different ways. Usually they're going to appear in a translucent type of light or orb, essentially. The orb is just going to be a real small light. It could also be a certain translucent type of figure, and other times you don't actually see them with your eyes. You feel them with more of your auric body. Um,
Do you
and
believe in ghosts?
yeah, I do believe in beings that are existing in parallel dimensional reality based on karma.
So this ain't the only dimension
No.
that we're no. You say that with confidence. I like that.
No.
Is there
Uh,
how many dimensions? Is it infinite or
it's infinite dimensions, and the thing about it is that they're all layered. So it isn't like the thing about like past lives is that that's only a way that we can put it into a category to understand it ourselves. There's no such thing as past. There's no such thing as present, or there's no thing as past, future. There is only the present,
there is?
essentially. Your papers right here, like this is how dimensions actually go. They're all on top of each other like this.
Yeah.
So all dimensions are folded within this present moment right now.
When you saw the aliens, eyes open, or were you meditating and like you saw them with the no thing with your meditating?
Well, but as far as for my experience with the ETs being in the actual circle ground levels,
He's nice.
I actually experienced more of a telepathic type of experience. I have never been actually like, touched. There's been other people within the the research field that we are, in. We're actually like a research team working with consciousness, working to understand the science of consciousness whenever it comes to the impact that we can have on these individuals. But essentially, other people have been touched and other things, and there's stories that I could get into with as far as that
Right.
goes, but we don't really have to get into that. What I have seen more so 3D is going to be different orbs, other things that have came across the sky, materialized, traveled, and then dematerialized. Different colors. I saw a huge red orb. If you take your fist and you like go about 2.5 feet from your face. It was about that big in the sky, traveling low altitude, and it basically materialized, traveled about 4 seconds, and then dematerialized right out. And that happened right after we were done with our actual meditation and stuff like that, which is an indication that it happened in a time period in which we were amplified in our understanding and our energy, that we're understanding that is a certain imprint that we can put into. It's like kind of like a call that we can make into the universe to where they are respondent to that. So that was kind of a big one. That was actually in Roswell.
Oh, why
Mhm.
Roswell?
We went out there for like an expedition, and we went out there for like an overnight expedition
I-
meditation.
Is it as is experiencing extraterrestrial? Is it as concrete as they make it out on TV, or is this spiritual connection, this sense of meditation, required to be able to, in your opinion,
Mm.
in order to experience that?
It's not.
Like I
It's
can't just go out into a field and just look up at the sky and like, oh, there they are.
it's not required to. It's not required to have an actual experience. Many people have had an experience of different levels of awareness that have happened. So obviously, it's not a requirement to like be in meditation and like open your conscious, open your mind, stuff like that. However, it is. We believe that it is more so a requirement to be able to initiate contact. If you want to initiate that contact, it's more so the understanding that you have to be in a state of peace, and you have to reach out in an energy and in intention of love and acceptance. And
Why is that?
whenever you do that, then they're more receptive. I think it has to do with buttons or buttons and frequencies and everything that we were, talking
Yeah.
about with my little
So like they're not gonna
magical
appear.
gift.
So they're not gonna appear just with the. We have to invite them in. They're not
You
just
have to
gonna come
invite
into
them
our home.
in.
Okay.
There's a certain law called the law of called cosmic law, and what it is the law of intervention. And the law of intervention basically means that a higher level consciousness civilization cannot directly intervene on a lower level consciousness and awareness civilization. Reason being is because they'll throw their evolutionary track off, and they'll actually be hindering the civilization more than they're helping. It's kind of like if you it's kind of like you guys is baby, and you want the baby to be able to walk, so they have to go through their own motions. If you were like, oh, you know what, hell yeah, we're gonna have our baby walk. I have enough money to get these like robo legs, and we're just gonna get robo legs, and we're just gonna put them on the baby, and the baby's gonna be able to walk. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference between the baby learning to walk and us having enough money and enough power and enough prowess and enough intelligence and technology to just put like robo legs on the baby? Why don't we just do that? It's like we know why we shouldn't do that, and that is the understanding of the law of intervention. If we are learning to walk, if we are learning to raise our vibration and our frequency to be able to meet them at this higher vibratory state of unbounded mind, then we've earned the opportunity to intervene with them.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I don't know if it's a dumb question. Where do you think they reside? Like just out in space or
Yeah.
another galaxy or
Yeah, there's different categories. Essentially, the first category is interstellar. A lot of them are going to be interstellar. These civilizations are going to live on, different planets, and they are going to be from different planets, and they're going to, and their civilization has become interstellar to where their spirituality and their technology has come to a certain balance to where they can actually their technology can actually bend space time, and basically you can go from saying something, oh, something's way too far, it's 400 million light years away, I don't have that much time, to you can use the speed of thought and be it
the
instantaneous.
speed of thought?
Speed of thought is
Nice.
actually faster than the speed of light. That is faster than the speed of light is the actual speed of thought, and that's what we're using whenever we are reaching out to these interstellar civilizations.
Are there any among us?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
really. Okay.
they are among us,
I
for sure. There's another category called ultra terrestrials, and ultra terrestrial is an individual that is that is from off planet, that was born off planet, that live here with us now.
what?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they do live among us. Uh, there is information that would connote that there are Pleiadian, individuals that can change their hair color, change their eye color, change their skin color, change things about themselves, appear and to appear to us as Felicia. you know. but
My
she
alien
but she
wife.
but she is in fact a Pleiadian, and she is here for a certain reason. They all have a mission. They all have things that they are doing to be able to help us walk, to be able to help us walk, and they're intervening in a way that is not too invasive, essentially.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Joe, man, I feel like I could talk to you forever about
It is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I appreciate you coming out, man. This is all just my mind is blown. I feel like I just had like a brain gasm. I probably gotta bring you on another time for part two because we gotta dip into this remote viewing
Yeah, yeah, let's
thing
into
and
that.
just all this stuff.
Hmm.
But if I had to wrap it up with a loaded question, perhaps, with all of your mental prowess and experience, what the hell is this all for? Life, everything. What does it all equate to? And whether it be, yeah, on an individual level, on a societal level, on just anything. What'd you think?
Yeah, there is a couple different layers of the answer. The first answer is going to be to develop compassion. Developing your compassion is really the best way to be able to remain in service, and the best way to see what we would call a pure land, or the end of suffering. We all want to end suffering in many ways. I think that that's really kind of what like it's all about. Like, why why have a job? Why be able to pay bills, right? You want to be able to end suffering for yourself, for your family, and you want to be able to be someone who can offer um, less suffering to people as well, because that's really valuable. That's really the highest value, is to alleviate some of that from people, and for them to have a more quality life. It's really about having a quality life. It's really about understanding how to acquire rewarding and favorable conditions. That's really what, how do I acquire that? It's really not about good or bad things. It's not really about like positive or negative. Again, rabbit hole navigation. Good and bad, don't get caught in that. Positive, negative, don't get caught in that. Don't get caught in that. It's more about what is rewarding and what is favorable to you, right? I don't think that, you and your family living in, a dilapidated shack, underneath of a bridge is rewarding to, someone like you. But is that rewarding? Could that be rewarding to someone in a third world country who has way less than that, who finally has a shack for them and their kids to be out of the sweltering sun all the time, or to be out of the elements of the world? They would absolutely love that. And going from abject, like going from living in garbage to living in um any type of structural um foundation is going to be rewarding, and is going to be favorable. You know what I mean? So you have to continue to go that middle way, and understanding to develop compassion is to alleviate suffering, and I think it's about alleviating suffering.
Dang, I like that. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful answer, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. And I appreciate everything you brought to
Yeah.
to the table today. Namaste to you, man.
Just know that I appreciate your existence, as it is my entire being. I would not be able to exist in the way that I do without you existing in the way that you do. So I say namaste, and thank you for having me.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Namaste to you.
Wow.
And thank you so much for coming out today. All of your time and effort put into the remote viewing exercise. I'm totally going to bring you back and we're going to deep dive into so much more. Shout out to the studio and to Felicia for
Love you, Felicia.
thank you so much for handling the controls. And thank you so much to everybody for watching. Until next time, I'm Keith Allen. Have a good night, y'all.